Gems, welcome back to Gem Talk. My name is Niecy G from Platinum Gang, and today I want to talk to you guys about the feedback loop. I had made this TikTok a while ago, not even a while ago, maybe like a week or two ago, and it dawned on me that, you know, we're in this feedback loop. And that was the only way that I could describe what I have come to a conclusion, or these downloads, if you will. And what I mean by these downloads, because I've gotten several questions, so I'm going to try to address some of the questions. If you are watching this on YouTube, welcome. If you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, thank you. Welcome. So I'm going to try to address a lot of the questions and things of that nature as to what I meant by you are on a loop. Because some people were saying things like, oh, Niecy, I want to be out of the loop. Like, I don't want to, do this. Like, how do I get off this loop? Blah, 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 blah. And so it dawned on me that a lot of times people don't fully understand what manifestation is and what all that entails. And we overly complicate it with, techniques. We overly complicate it with, I need to affirm, I need to do this. Hopefully this will be the only video that you need. So then that way you can go and apply this stuff, and then you can say, okay, she was right. She was completely right. What I mean by you're in a feedback, and I have my laptop here, so you'll see me kind of glancing at my laptop to just kind of glance at my notes. And normally I don't have any notes. Normally I just go off the top of my dome and move on. But since I got so many great questions, I want to be able to address this A, as a series, and B, just to make sure that I'm getting clarity out to you all that sent me the questions via email or comments on TikTok or what have you. So what is the feedback loop? The feedback loop is just a system of output, you guys, that feeds back into itself. So for example, if you and I are friends and we have an argument and then you get upset with me, or I shouldn't even say an argument, but you just don't agree with something that I'm saying and you get upset with me, I'm feeding back to you what you need to go and internally work on. Or for those of you that are manifesting in SP, if you have a situation and your SP triggers you, then that trigger is basically showing you something that you need to deal with internally. So that's what I mean when I say you're in a feedback loop. The link to manifestation and consciousness, this ties into self-awareness, decision-making, reality creation within itself. And how this does, you guys, so many people just lack self-awareness. They just don't have it. And I have coached clients all over the world. I have clients in Japan, clients in Thailand, clients in London, clients all over the United States where I am, clients in the Caribbean. It doesn't change where you're born. Human nature is just human nature. It's just human nature all day long. And what I found is that people just lack self-awareness. They're not aware of the things that they're afraid of. They're not aware of the things that they need to work on. They're not aware as to how they come across to people. And I'm just like, this is wild. And let me also go backtrack and say, I am a firm believer in you will project where you're at. People are in a constant state of projection. So if you're miserable, you're going to project that. If you're happy, you're going to project that. But if you're triggered by these things, if you're triggered by someone's happiness, if you're triggered by their anger, if you're triggered by whatever, then that's ultimately just showing you what you need to work on. Again, the feedback loop. So there's different types of feedback loops. There's negative feedback loops. There's positive feedback loops. What I want you guys to get from this video is that you are both the observer and you are the creator. So you're both the one observing and you're both the one creating it, and with your focus and your beliefs. What I mean by that is you have to understand that you have your thoughts, right? You have your inner voice and you have your outer voice. Understanding that your inner voice is a part of consciousness, is a part of that one, is a part of God, if you will. And people get so bent out of shape by these words and this verbiage. Please don't. I can't tell you how many comments I got and people arguing in the comment, like, bro, if me saying things like God or the universe or whatever, please scroll past this video. It's not for you. Turn the podcast off now, because I was raised Baptist Christian. I am always going to stay true to my faith in the way that I believe in my faith. And that's just the bottom line. And I'm not going to shake or go off of that for anyone. And if that offends you, oh well. I don't know what to tell you, because the way that I interpret the Bible is very similar to the way that Neville Goddard and Reverend Ike interpret the Bible. I use it as a tool to create the life that I desire, because that is literally what Jesus taught us to do. So I want you to recognize the patterns of the loop that you're in, right? And interrupt that cycle. Let me be very clear in this verse. Let's pause on a moment for the loop. When you're creating what it is that you desire, it's very simple. We overcomplicate it again with affirmations and all these techniques and all this mumbo jumbo stuff that you don't need. All you need to do is create the visualization in your mind and loop it over and over and over and over and over again. And that's it. And when you loop it, and I'm talking like a 10-second clip, you guys. It doesn't need to be anything long, drug out, dramatic. And then he held my hand and we walked up the stairs and we kissed goodnight. It doesn't need to be all that. If you're manifesting multiple things at once, you can put this in the loop too. Like, let's say you're manifesting a new car and a specific person, then manifest or, visualize you in the car driving and your specific person is in the passenger seat and they're congratulating you on your new car. Congratulations, honey. I love this car. I love your new car. And then you're just going to loop that. Congratulations, honey. I love your new car. Congratulations, honey. I love your new car. Congratulations, honey. I love your new car. That's it. Over and over and over again in first person. In first person, that's the key. And then you're going to conjure up that feeling of what it feels like to have the car and to have the specific person at the same time. And it's going to make you feel good, because you don't want the thing, you want the feeling that the thing gives you. So all you got to do to obtain it in your 3D reality now is give yourself the feeling of having it now. I also got one girl that was like, should I not pay my bills? Should I not do this? Like, no, please take care of your responsibilities. Neville told us to don't neglect your responsibilities. No one's saying that, but do so in a way where you're like, I don't have to worry about that bill. That bill is already paid. What have you. And I love when I get coaching clients that have poor money beliefs, because it's like a little challenge to me where I'm like, I'm going to change their money beliefs by the end of this week. Before the week is out, they're going to know. And a lot of times people will sign up for monthly mentorship with me where I see them 3 times a week, but I always make goals for myself, for my clients, if that makes sense. So if you tell me, oh, Niecy, I have poor money beliefs, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. In 3 days, she won't anymore. In 3 days, he's going to make $10,000. If you have an SP, I'm like, oh, okay, the SP is going to reach out by the end of the week, whatever. So I'm also creating for my clients. Like, I'll hear them tell me, oh my God, this bill got paid, or oh my God, you're never going to believe this. Your boy got an apology, whatever. Because I do coach men and women. I don't discriminate. But that's all you need to do. And so how I do this, the technique, if you want to call it a technique, is I just follow Neville. When he says get in a state akin to sleep, meaning get into a drowsy state of being, go lie on your bed, go lie on your couch. You don't want to fall asleep when you do this. You don't need to be in like lotus position or anything, like that. I lie on my bed and I put like maybe one arm above my head like this, because I don't want to get too comfortable to where I fall asleep. So I put one of my arms above my head like this. I lay down. I take a couple of deep breaths. I can feel my chest rise and fall. I focus on my chest rising and falling, rising and falling. And then I get really heavy and I sink into my bed. I'm talking not in a sense of like my actual body, but I just get heavy. Like I allow all of my weight to just relax. All the tension is going on in my body. If my tongue is on the roof of my mouth, I drop it. If I'm like clenched down like this, like I release that tension. I release it. And I just go to the sunken place of, I shouldn't say the sunken place for those that have seen that movie, but you know what I'm saying. You get into like a sunken state of being drowsy, almost like you're sleeping. That's what state akin to sleep means. It's a state of being before you drift off to sleep. And then I just play that on a loop, the car and the SP again, as a small example, and they're like, congratulations, honey, I love your new car. Congratulations, honey, I love your new car. And some people will do a little bit more than that, but I don't. I don't do anything longer than like 5 seconds, 6 seconds. I think Neville teaches us to like, it could just be like a little 10-second thing. But I just do like a little 5 second thing. So it would be like, okay, congratulations, honey, I love your new car. Or like if you are, getting a new job or you're manifesting a new job, excuse me, you might be like your mom congratulating you or someone else. And I find that when I put someone else in my visualization, it comes to fruition faster. I don't know why that is, but for me, it does. But that's all you need to do, you guys, and repeat that repetition with that. You don't need to be sitting here EFT tapping, rocking back and forth, doing all these things. You don't need to do all that. And once you get out of that trance or meditation or whatever you want to call it, now you got to go walk it and be it. Okay, I love my new car. My SV loves my new car. They're so excited that I got this new car. They're so excited that I got this new job. Like, this is amazing. I don't need to go and like do anything else, but just be that. Now, here's the kicker. When your 3D reality tries to remind you of what it is right now, that's where you practice non-reaction. That's where you practice like, okay, I don't need to like react to that. And if you do, go back and do it again and just repeat that over and over and over and over again on a loop in first person. And if you guys have any questions about that, please feel free to drop a comment and I'll elaborate. But it's so simple. Literally, that's all you need to do. So collapsing the potential into reality with the technique that I just showed you. I kind of jumped around, but it's okay. Your feedback loop is basically how you align and draw desires and outcomes into your 3D reality. The thing is this, and I trip some people up with this, but we talk about abundance all the time. Abundance exists all around you. If you're manifesting, let's say like $10,000. $10,000 exists at your local grocery store. $10,000 exists, for your mortgage company or rent company, whoever you pay your living arrangement to. $10,000 exists at the bank that you bank with. $10,000 exists like maybe in your neighbor's checking account. It exists everywhere. So why can't it exist for you? Abundance is all around you. We have an abundance of air. You can have an abundance of potato chips. You can have an abundance of books. You can have an abundance of money. You can have an abundance of cell phones. I don't know. Like, abundance is literally all around you. And once you start to understand that, literally things just start falling into place. Boom, 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 like clockwork, because you're always where you're supposed to be. And we're going to talk about that in another episode about divine timing, because I used to think that divine timing meant when God wanted to give it to you, when the universe wanted to give it to you. And that is not what divine timing is. Divine timing means I am exactly where I'm supposed to be right now in this present moment. It means staying present. And manifestation is instant. But I'm really excited to do this series for you guys because I want to break it down into episodes, because I feel like if I were to do that, it's just easier to comprehend that way. And then you can piece them together yourself. Because for me, reading hundreds of books, doing so much research, and then trying to like piece it all together, I felt like a madman. I was like a mad girl. Like, I had to write all this down with my whiteboard and all that stuff. Which is cool, whatever. But to each their own. But for those of you that don't necessarily want to do all that, I'm trying to make this as simple as I possibly can. So when you think about a feedback loop or the feelings, once you get that feeling from the visualization, imagine a snowball. If you pack a snowball and then you roll the snowball down the hill, that snowball is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's going to gain momentum and it's going to go faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. So that's all you're doing. You're just fueling that manifestation because you already have it. There's a version of you that already has it. Once you understand that creation is created by you, and then there's nothing for you to create because you've already created it. It's a part of that loop. And there's the feedback loop, and then there's just like the loop that you're on. And the example that I gave in the previous video from the Cooper being in the Tesseract. And what I mean by that is, so in that video, and if you haven't watched that, I highly recommend you to go watch that video. In that video, I'm talking about how Cooper's in the Tesseract and the meaning of time, and understanding Einstein's E equals mc squared. When you understand that and you break down that formula of like energy just equals mass times the speed of light, that is where you more so understand time, the gravitational pull. Time is just a perception. That's all it is. And when Cooper is in the Tesseract, and we're going to get into that too. I don't want to like jump the gun on episodes because I have them like all planned out for you guys, but your thoughts and your emotions need to match with what it is that you desire. And I don't care how many manifestation mentors you listen to, I don't give a shit. Excuse my French, but I don't, because you don't need all of they keep you wanting to come back for more. And in actuality, all you need to do is match your feelings with your visualization. That's it. With your thoughts. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. For the people that robotically affirm and that works, good for you. It is because you have a feeling behind those robotic affirmations. And people say, do I have to feel it real, Niecy? Relax. You don't have to feel it real. You just have to have that emotion behind what it is that you're creating. What's the difference? The difference is I have my water cup here. This exists in my 3D reality. It doesn't exist in your 3D reality because you're not holding this cup. I am. Clearly, I love leopard print, right? But it exists in my 3D reality. If you're watching this on your device, then it exists in a 2D world for you, right? But it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So if you are wanting to consciously create this cup, you can do so. What I'm saying to you, though, is that you're not able to touch it, feel it, see it, taste it, whatever, with your 5 senses in your 3D as of right now. But to collapse it into your world, yes, Neville said feeling is a secret, and I hate to keep, repeating back to that, or reiterating that state. Excuse me, got a little tongue-tied. It's because it's true. It's because it's valid. It is 100% accurate. Every single freaking time I wanted to manifest something and I wanted to do so in a time crunch, I get it literally so quickly because I gave myself the feeling of already having it. And if I'm in a real time crunch, then I literally will go and sit on a loop for 30 minutes. The scenario, whatever it is. If it's something with my kid, if it's something with my man, if it's whatever the case is, I'm going to continuously put it on a loop. Recently, I've been wanting some things that I'm creating, and I just put those small things on a loop. It's like, even with my car, I just pictured my boyfriend looking at my car going, I love your car so much. 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 Like over and over and over and over and over again. And sometimes I get these things the same day. Oftentimes it never takes any longer than a week. Ever. And you guys, I can back up everything that I say. Like, I post pictures of my car. This is ridiculous. Like, I just want people to get this information and do so in a productive manner. It does not take all of this like extra stuff and, oh, I need to, you just got to stop getting hung up on the ego. You got to stop getting hung up on the emotion. He who angers you controls you. And my mom used to always tell me, like, your emotions can get you unalived. So, stop doing that. Stop being so quick to react and quick to respond, and be more slow to anger and slow to respond and slow to react, which is why I came out with the nervous system regulation e-guide, because I didn't understand that me calming my nervous system in that way would catapult me into the life that I live now. So that's what I want you to do. And then the negative self-concept is a big deal as well, because if you don't believe that you can have it, then why would you have it? I want you guys to understand that manifestation is instant. I want you to understand that it's so simple. We don't need to go and complicate it at all. We overly complicate things and it's ridiculous. Pick out what it is that you desire. What does that thing bring you? If you want money, does it bring you freedom? If you want love, does it bring you security? If you want a job, does it bring you stability? What does that look like to you? Only you know. And then go and create that feeling on a first person loop. Loop it, loop it, loop it, loop it, loop it. I did this just the other day. Like you guys, even last night, actually, I did this with my son. And I was like, he wanted something from the store. I didn't want to pay for it. I ended up, not having to pay for it. His dad paid for it. But I visualized him holding the bag, looking up at me, saying, thanks, mom. Thanks, mom. Thanks, mom. Thanks, mom. And I could just see him with the bag. We're walking out of the store. And he's like, thanks, mom. Thanks, mom. Thanks, mom. Thanks, mom. Over and over and over and over again. So much to the point to like, I forgot that I did it. And then like fast forward 4 or 5 hours later, we're at the store and he does it. And I was like, ah, my God. Because sometimes manifestation still not spooks me, but startles me. And I'm like, ah, I forgot I did this. And he was like, thanks, mom. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I was like, your dad paid for it. I just brought you, like it was great. But have fun with manifestation, you guys. If you're interested in mentorship, just shoot me an email and I'll send that information over. And I'll see you guys in the next one.